we're going to be looking at adding integers. So an integer is a whole number, not a decimal, not a fraction, a whole number. 1, 25, 132. These are all integers. They're all positive integers. So now we can also have negative integers. -2, -13, -5,525. These are all integers, whether they're positive or negative. So now we're looking at, okay, how do we deal with those negative numbers with positive numbers? So with adding, if we're looking at our number line, right, we have our 0 in the middle, we have our negative to the left, and our positive to the right. This is a good visual to kind of help you understand what's happening with these positive and negative numbers, right? If we think about our bank account, we can't just spend, and then 0, it just stops and we can keep spending. 0 is the last number that we can go to. No, if we keep spending it, we go into -100, -200. I find that it's easier to kind of think of it that way because it's something that I know. I've had a bank account that's negative, so I understand that once we go past 0, we get into negative numbers. So looking at this, if we were to add a negative number, we are moving to the left of our number line. If I were to add a positive number, I'm moving to the right. So let's look at this example that we have up here. -5 plus 8. So for this first one, we're going to kind of look at visualizing it, understanding what this looks like, what this means. -5. So I'm looking at my number line. This is my -5 right here. So I'm just marking this so I know where I'm starting. -5. Plus 8. If I'm adding a positive number, which way am I going? Well, if I'm adding a positive number, I'm going to the right, right? That's what it says up here. The positive numbers are on the right of the number line. So that's the direction we're moving to. Now, this is my starting point. It tells me in that problem, that's where I'm starting. -5 is where I'm starting. So plus 8. Again, let's do this a little visually. Let's move over 8 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is my new position at +3. So my answer, -5 plus 8, is +3. So let's go ahead and let's look at another one. And I'm going to erase my number line and let's try something different. I'm actually going to keep that on the top just to remind me. Negative to the left, positive to the right. I have a new number line. I'm going to show you an easy way to just make a number line for a problem. All right. I have -12 plus 7. All right, so here's 0 somewhere on that line in the middle. I have -12. I know the negatives are on the left, so I'm just going to say this is -12. Plus 7. So I'm moving to the right 7 places. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I wrote in 12 numbers right there. I know I'm going to be moving to the right because I'm adding a positive number. So again, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That puts me at -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can help me visualize that even if we're adding a positive number, we may still have a negative answer. Let's look at this. So -12, +7. So just looking at the 12 and the 7, which one is bigger? Well, the 12 is bigger. And then we look at the sign of that bigger number, negative. So if the bigger number is negative, I know my answer is going to be negative. Another way of looking at this is positive and negatives cancel each other out, right? If I have negative $1 in my account and I add $1 to my account, I have 0. I canceled it out. So I can have 12 boxes. So my negative numbers are going to be boxes. 12 boxes. We have 7 X's. Well, if I know they're going to cancel each other out, I'm going to work on canceling them out. So I have 7 X's. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that canceled out 7 of those negative boxes. So I'm going to just take them away. I'm left with 5 boxes. That's what we got. So there's a couple of ways of looking at this. So I'm going to do one more with you, and then I'm going to have you try one on your own. All right. So we have -1 plus -10. We have a negative and another negative. We are going to have more negatives. So looking at this, we're still going to the left. So just looking at this number, -1 is right here. We have 10 more negatives going to the left. So I know my number is going to be over here. Is it going to be positive or negative? Well, negative, we're going to the more negative side. So then we know our answer is negative. So I'm going to look at these. 1 and 10. 1 negative plus 10 negatives, 11 negatives. So we have -11. Again, we can also count them off here if we can move over 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's at -11. We can also do boxes. We have 1 negative box, and then we have 10 more negative boxes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more boxes. It's 11 boxes. So there's a couple different ways of looking at this, and we're going to continue to work with these negative numbers in the next couple examples. You choose a way that works best for you. When we get to more of the complicated numbers, the bigger numbers, we'll also look at some other ways of dealing with them. So if you could do example number 3, try it on your own, and then we'll come back together and review it. All right, this next one might have been a little tougher. So we're looking at 15 plus -46. All right, well, we know 15 is somewhere over here, right? 46, if we were to move 46 spots, we're now in negative territory. So our answer has to be negative. We can also look at a different way. We have 15 and 46. Which one's the bigger number? Well, 46 is. So I know my answer is going to be negative. All right. So if we were to move 15 spots over here, we're going to end up somewhere over here after 46. So from this point, unknown point over here to here, we're moving 46 spaces. This is what we don't know. From 0 to 15, it's 15 spaces. We don't know this right here. That sounds like a subtraction problem to me, right? 46 minus 15 gives me 31. And I know my answer has to be negative because we're in negative territory. It has to be negative. So this right here is negative 31. So 15 plus negative 46 gives us negative 31. If you want to sit there and do 15 X's and 46 boxes, maybe they're a while. And again, working with this test, we want to go fast. We don't want to spend time on positive and negative numbers. So this is another way of visualizing it. So I want you to go ahead, try number 4, and then we'll go ahead and review it. Example, we have negative 34 plus 50. So looking at this, I know 34 is somewhere over here on the left. All right, so we're going to be going to the right because this is a positive number. So we know we're going to come from negative 34 to somewhere on the right. And that's going to be 50 spaces. So from here to here is 34 spaces. From here to here, we do not know. Well, just looking at this, I know we're going to be on the positive side. Because after 34, that's 0. And we're on the positive side. We can also look at our numbers. 34 and 50, which one's the bigger number? Well, 50 is. And 50 is positive, so we know our answer is going to be positive. Just a couple different ways of looking at it. Again, you choose which way makes more sense to you, which is easier for you, saves you the most time. So I'm looking at this. We know this whole thing is 50, from 34 to wherever we end up, our answer. And we know it's 34 from negative 34 to 0, right? That makes sense. I'm going to subtract those two numbers, right? Same thing as the last one, 50 minus 34. All right, we're going to borrow. 10 minus 4 is 6. 4 minus 3 is 1. 16, positive 16. So you might kind of look at this and go, well, this is an addition problem. Why are we subtracting? With positive and negative integers, we can't be thinking of, well, this is straight adding and this is straight subtracting. We have to change the way we look at it, change the way we talk about it. And so if you kind of listen to the way I'm saying things, okay, I know we need to move to the right. I'm not saying, oh, I'm adding a positive number. I'm saying, oh, we have to go to the right. So go ahead, try these practice problems, and then in the next video, we'll look at subtracting some of these integers.